Hey all, thank you so much for joining me here today. I am creating a video going over something that I have channeled recently to make sense of the various aspects within my being and to have a better understanding of what roles and purposes they serve in my life. And yeah, like I said, this is something I channeled recently, and so it is still incredibly meaningful to me. I refer to it as a being system map or a BSM. And there is inspiration from IFS therapy, which has incorporates various parts of our beings. In IFS therapy, there's managers, firefighters, and exiles, and then there's the whole self. And within my system, there's guides, guardians, thresholders, allies, ancestors. They all serve a unique purpose within the entire system, or as I refer to it, in our being. And yeah, I wanted to go ahead and show you what I first drew on my big notebook, my big notepad. So here it is. I have the heart in the center here, and then I have the ray frequencies that are well known, yet I feel that there are many of us who are still learning of the ray frequencies, but light does actually have a frequency to it, and it's in my book as well. So if you wanted to, go into my book and type in ray frequencies, there's a lot of information that will tell you about even the different numerical values of the ray frequencies. But yeah, so for me, they also carry a unique core energetic signature. So we have the magenta ray, red ray, orange ray, yellow ray, green ray, cyan blue ray, indigo ray, violet ray, and there's shades in between. So it's not just these singular shades, but it helps me to have these laid out so I know where their energies align. And even when I was initially drawing this, I had already a lot of these names placed throughout, and then I added the ray frequencies in, and I noticed how they aligned, especially with the quantum allies. These align with the indigo ray frequency because the indigo ray has to do with our perception with our third eye and beyond. And so it's a lot of our inner world rather than here what we're seeing in our universe. It's expanded upon with that. And yeah, I want to go ahead and talk about the heart space. So within the heart space, I have a few different names here. Of course, I have Riley, who is part of my core being, and I've been doing a lot of healing with Riley, and I feel what happened was throughout my life, I've experienced a lot of great things, and I know that Riley has always wanted to experience love and have friendships and wanted to feel aware and conscious. And last year in December, I channeled Atlas, and Atlas felt as though this expression of my being where I was able to be more productive, step into my masculine role, and also expand my awareness and my consciousness. And so when I connected with Atlas, I felt that I really had been able to do that. And that's been so affirming for me. And for a while, I had been going by Atlas. And then I realized that, especially in this past week, how Riley and Atlas and all of the other energies present in my being all serve a role and a purpose. And that's what led me to be creating this, is because I wanted to be able to have an awareness of how these different roles are experienced in my being. Some other words that I have in here that I love are intermergence, and this is a word that I channeled. And the intermergence is an example is earlier when I Atlas was heavily present, wanted to film this video. I was tapped in, tuned in, turned on, had the camera going, and there were just things happening around me. Like my cat really wanted me to connect with her and to pet her, and so I was doing that. And my temple was letting me know that it was time to nourish my body, and I realized that I also had other responsibilities to be doing, like going upstairs, making food. And when I was upstairs, I felt that there was this intermergence, this co-presence with Atlas, who wanted to be here creating this video for you all, and with Riley, who I, was going to do the dishes. I had food to connect with and to eat. And just like having this awareness of both being present, knowing that I wanted to create this video for you all so I can communicate who I am to help others to understand who they are more intrinsically. And that is why I'm even doing all of this, is because I want everyone, including you watching, to be able to look back, and you may not have separate names for aspects within your being, but I know a lot of us have ancestors, guides, and guardians, and they represent an energy. And in my system, I say calling forth. So if you have a guide, a guardian, an aspect of your being that you want to call forth, there's a way that you can call forth by saying, I call forth Atlas to add structure to this video so we may complete it and share it with everyone for our greatest good of all. For me, I also call upon my ancestors when there is something that I'm healing and I feel it's something I'm healing within my body. I will call upon Ali, who is the divine androgynous ancestor of mine, and I call upon them when I want to break free from limiting beliefs. And I also, on the counterpart of that, have V as a Forsaken ancestor that helps me to understand my shadow more and where I may be called to be transmuting feelings within my being. And that's also just as important as well, to have that shadow awareness and then have that breaking free and expansion. I knew this video would be a general overview of what I have going so far. Another thing I wanted to add in there, I still identify the self as me and I. So when I'm talking, I say me and I. I also have done something where I spell me as MEI, and that flows, it feels right. It's a reminder that I'm a whole system, I'm a whole being. And so that's something that I've really enjoyed from what I've channeled so far. And yeah, there's still so much more to do with this. Yeah, I know that this is all for having a greater understanding of myself and the aspects of my being. It's not so much to label myself and put myself into a box of, every aspect of my being needs to function a certain way or something like that. It's more for me to have this awareness so that way I can show up as my best self, to be aware of where Riley may want to have friendships and feel intimate love, romantic love. Atlas wants to expand consciousness and bring community together. And these aspects of my being represent different values that are significant to me. I'm hoping that this video helps anyone with anything that they're going through that has to do with identity. Something else I want to mention is that these aspects do help me to embody more feminine, more masculine, more androgynous, gender fluid qualities of my being. Atlas represents more of my stepping into my masculine, and Riley represents this understanding of my masculine and feminine, and knowing that I'm both, and I have various feminine core energetic signatures, deities that I connect with, and that also remind me of that embodiment within my being as well. I am aware that this is a lot of new information for many of us, and even for myself, I'm always learning new things. I do want to say that make sure that when you are seeing a mental health care provider, that you are checking with them and for your practices and what you are doing, and just making sure that they align. I feel that this is all in pursuit of conscious awareness and authentic joy, and this is what brings me joy, is having these systems and pattern recognition of my being, so I can navigate my existence and my being. And I know it may be a bit scattered at the moment in some ways, yet I'm here to organize the information and also communicate it in a way that you also can connect with it. This is all to feel more whole in our being. A mantra that I really connect with, and I feel that it is resonant with the system, is healing to wholeness and beyond. And for me, this is remembering parts of ourselves that felt lost, finding new parts of ourselves that allow us to step into being who we are becoming, because I feel that we have who we've been, who we are now, and who we are becoming. When we become more consciously aware, we are able to make intentional choices and decisions going forward. Yes, I feel that this is where I am meant to complete this video, this transmission, this channeling. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will continue making videos, and I have so much to share. I literally have infinite things to say, and trust I will. And I'm going to be removing the masks day by day and being more authentic. And I'm still on this journey of figuring out what it means to be authentically me. And through the Being System map and creating these videos, living life, I'm able to understand that better. Remember, all that loves allow synchronicities. Until next time, peace and love.